I have no idea what kind of weird strategy anybody in the Democratic Party, or I guess some outgoing rhinos, think that they stand to gain, especially when it comes after the midterms. Like, why do you want to depose Trump? Okay, do you just want to give him an opportunity to somehow take a victory lap? Like, questioning him and continuing to drag this out after you get a total shellacking on the 8th. So just about a week later, you're going to let him waltz into the place and then just absolutely dog walk you? Well, you're also trying to push it so it's not going to be televised, so it's going to be behind closed doors, which I don't really know if you're going to be able to get anything from this. But ultimately, at the end of the day, right? Because we got three different people giving their takes on the situation. They're just trying to do the whole Marty McFly, oh, you're going to call me a chicken situation. All it is just bloviating, showboating, and ultimately, at the end of the day, I think in some form or fashion, Trump is ultimately going to end up giving his statements on the record to this stupid show trial committee, which will ultimately just be probably dissolved once the Republicans take back the House, and then they just take a look at this committee and just go, because that's just an easy victory out there, especially to placate the base. Like, you can't, honestly, the fact that Nancy Pelosi set all of this stuff up, right? There was supposed to be a bunch of Republicans on this panel to balance this fucking nonsense out. But Pelosi was like, oh, you want to nominate Jim Jordan? You want to nominate, there was a couple of other guys that were supposed to be on there. And it's like, no, we don't want them, but we'll take Kinzinger and we'll go ahead and take Liz Cheney, who we're going to be talking about first, who January 6th committee won't let Trump turn his testimony into a circus. Liz Cheney says, who gives a fuck what she has to say? This bitch ain't gonna be here in a couple of fucking months. Like, she can't win, okay, unless her and everybody else gets a fucking $500 Cheney bucks check in the fucking mail, okay, and then just decides to write in Liz Cheney, because this bitch is gonna be out of a fucking job here in a few days' time. Christ almighty, this shit is sneaking up on everybody. But she was on Meet the Press on Sunday, okay? I don't know, was she handing out resumes? And it's like, do you just want to give us a couple of words here? We got an empty segment, would you like to come by and talk? And she's like, yeah, sure. Cheney vowed on Sunday she would not let Donald Trump turn his scheduled deposition before the January 6th committee into a circus. You're going to have Trump in Washington. Theoretically, there's going to be cameras there in some form or fashion. They're trying to make sure that this isn't going to get televised. So this is, again, just going to lead to speculation that's like, okay, so how upfront and honest are you guys actually trying to get to the bottom of this shit? Or are you just trying to catch some people in traps and tell some fucking funny big fish stories? Like, because realistically, if you aren't going to let him talk, because this is going to be the biggest opportunity for you to get eyeballs on this fucking nonsensical garbage, but you don't want to give the centerpiece of this entire investigation, the guy you're ultimately trying to convict or charge or prosecute or indict in some form or fashion here, you don't want to give him the grand stage, but at the same time, you'll give a fucking aide to an aide, okay, just because she had a pretty face, she got to be up on television. Aces. It's like, shit makes no fucking sense. Anyways, the committee, which she helps lead as vice chair, we've been speculating and banting this about back and forth. How's this going to work when she's out of a job here in a couple days' time? Okay, like, this is supposed to go down. This deposition, interrogation, struggle session is supposed to go down November 14th. After the midterms, okay? After either the Democrat or Harriet Hageman, I think that's her name, right? Wins, it's obviously going to be Hageman. I think fucking Wyoming votes at like a 90-10 clip for Republicans. So, yeah, she's a shoo-in. She basically won the fucking seat. And Cheney's not going to be elected to be there, but since she's been appointed, and if this committee continues to go on, is she going to be allowed to be there? Like, she's been censured by the federal GOP, I think, on that one, and at least the state GOP from the state of Wyoming, so she doesn't really have a leg to stand on. I don't know how much support she has out there, and again, she doesn't have a seat. She's not going to be there, and Kinzinger, the other Republican on the panel, isn't seeking re-election, so two out of the two seats out there are going to be fucking empty, and that's your bipartisan effort that's going to be there. So what are we doing here? Like, this shit makes no fucking sense. Like, it didn't make sense to begin with, but now it's just even more laughable. So maybe that's what Trump will point out and continue to make you guys look like fucking assholes. So it's like, I don't really know where you guys are trying to go with this one. Speaking to to NBC's, right, this is the proper one. Meet the Press on Sunday, Cheney suggested it's possible that Trump committed multiple criminal offenses. Okay, cool. How come during the criminal investigation, the impeachment proceedings, you couldn't find anything to convict him or charge with during that time? But no. It's possible. I heard this one fantastical story. Get this one. He was sitting in the back of his presidential limousine, and this guy, he tried to do some Aikido on the driver right there, and then they took him right to the Capitol. Can you believe that stuff? One lady who was testifying under oath, she said that goddamn thing exactly happened just like that, and she wouldn't lie. She's under oath. It's almost like, people immediately came out and said that was nonsense and there was nothing to back that up whatsoever. So you have an obvious case of perjury going on right there, but nobody's being charged in that scenario. Oh, okay, cool. I see how this is going. But no. Trump is definitely, he's 1000% committed multiple criminal offenses. How many fucking times have we heard this over the past 6 years, for Christ's sakes? Like, just fucking stop it already. It's getting old. It's getting old at this point. It was a hilarious, ridiculous beforehand, but now it's like, just fucking stop while you're 85 car lengths behind. Cheney would also say, we are anticipating the former president will understand his legal obligation. Yeah, because we just sent his pal to the clink for 4 months because we really want to take the super ethereal guys, and will comply with the subpoena. We made it clear in the subpoena the number of things, including if he intends to take the fifth, that he ought to alert us ahead of time. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be some negotiations going on back and forth behind the scenes, okay? It's going to be, here's what Trump wants to talk about. What are you guys going to be questioning him about? Okay, if you guys can't come to some sort of, agreement, or if you try to pull a fast one while the cameras are rolling, and that's probably also going to be contingent on Trump showing up, because unlike a bunch of other debaucherous shit that the Democrats have been trying to do and have accomplished over the past few years, don't need to get into specifics, but it tends to coincide, and it draws allusions to what would be happening 6 days before the supposed testimony is supposed to take place. It should be going on in the open, under the brightest lights, with the most attention on it. Okay, this is your star witness in this committee investigation. Why wouldn't he have television cameras rolling? That should be contingent on Trump's testimony. Don't know if it will be. I'd imagine he'd probably be wanting this, or at least some sort of feed going out there, because everybody will want to watch this. Like, this is going to be fucking nuts, okay? But this is the nicest criticism that has been leveled before. Criticism, incitement. This is about the only time you're ever going to hear incitement and January 6th, corroborated in the same type of video. Because, yeah, you got Cheney out here saying that, well, I'm going to make sure that he's not running in 2024. That's nice. Nobody's going to care about you. Nobody's going to remember you in a few days' time, so just fuck off already. And then you got Raskin, who's still big fucking mad that this dude couldn't convict him during the impeachment trial. He was the lead impeachment officer for the fucking Democrats, okay? I remember that shit all too fucking well. We watched all the proceedings out there, and it was hilarious. They had no fucking case then. They have no fucking case now. But it's funny, right? You know your side is losing when you have to use the criticism that is consistently labeled against you, thrown against you over and over and over again, and you have to try to use it as a pejorative against the person that you're trying to slander at the same time. Like, just fuck off, okay? Raskin to Trump, don't be a snowflake, get it? Because Democrats are snowflakes, at least by those maggots that are out there. Like, fuck off. You know you're fucking losing when you gotta pull this shit. And especially how old the stuff is. Like, that would have been biting commentary in 2017, but that was the last time Raskin actually had a bald spot that was small enough to be covered up by a yarmulke. Tell the January 6th probe how 2020 was stolen from you. Yeah, you go out there and do it. We're not going to televise it either, so you'll just look like a crazy man when our friends in the Washington Post and the New York Times rock up and they just write all the crazy stuff. Oh, Trump was making crazy claims about the previous election. Oh my God. Yeah, don't be a snowflake. We just want an opportunity to come fucking slander you. Can you believe this guy? My man here. here. Representative Jamie Raskin, representative of what? A short loudmouth? Said Friday on MSNBC's Alex Wagner Tonight. Wow, what a step down. Fuck, that sucks, dude. Like, you're in a safe Democratic spot. You're gonna be a representative from Maryland for as fucking long as you want, dude. Like, nobody's ever gonna fucking challenge you. Sucks to say, but them be the fucking breaks, I guess. But all you could get was a spot on a show on a network that nobody watches and nobody's ever fucking heard of. Tough breaks, I guess, but at least Liz Cheney, who's currently shopping for new gigs, she can get on Meet the Press. Oh well. But whatever, he was screaming to 6 people who were watching that former President Donald Trump should not be too much of a snowflake, get it? Not to testify at the January 6th House Select Committee. Yeah, that's funny, because it's just a bunch of fucking idiots that are up there screeching and complaining. It's like, my Trumpism, oh my god, they're coming to get us once again. It's like, nobody's coming to hurt you, okay? Wagner said, do you expect that he's going to come to testify? I mean, there are reports that he'll testify if he can do so live. Reports are the committee is considering doing that. But we have been down this road before when Trump says, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I will absolutely testify, aka the Mueller saga, and that never happens. Oh yeah, what? By the way, what was the conclusion of the Mueller saga, the Mueller probe? All right, nothing at all. Oh, okay, cool. So kind of like this committee. Anyways, so what is your over-under that he's actually testifying before the committee? If they can come to an agreement, I've been going back and forth on my opinion, but I'm not one of these chosen few that are up there, okay? Presiding over this fucking nonsense, so let's see if Raskin has a better opinion. Spoilers, probably not. I mean, one of the pathologies of our time is that before we even look at a reasonable, law-abiding former president will do, we immediately get pulled into Donald Trump's psyche. Oh my god, rent fucking free. Why do you think Trump is so successful at running a real estate empire? He gets so much fucking free place where he can kick his feet up. This is impressive, okay? Do you think he's gonna show up? We have to step into his mental frame. Bro, you already fucking lost. You hate to see it. You know, I hesitate to go there. No, you don't. You want him to come testify because you just can't get enough. You just want to bask in the glow that is Daddy Trump, right? Oh, well. I hesitate to go there. No, you don't. You just quiver and shake and come at the thought that Trump is going to show up and brighten everybody's day. But I will tell you that we have talked to more than 1,000 people. Really? Nobody's paid attention. The overwhelming majority of people with called, including members of former President Donald Trump's cabinet, members of his innermost staff. Yes, like, what was her name? Cassidy Hutchinson? Yeah, exactly. Told a completely honest and truthful opinion. God, that was the last time anybody gave a fuck about this committee because it was just so ludicrous. Including members of former President Trump's, cabinet, members of his innermost staff, members of his family who gave video depositions that were selectively edited for your highlight reel to kick off this primetime nonsense, have come forward to tell us the truth and to talk about the committee. Again, Cassidy Hutchinson. Trump was pulling some moves in a vehicle that he was never even in, but truthful recollection of events that day, to talk to the committee either informally or mostly under oath. Okay, cool. Other people have showed up, therefore Trump is going to as well. Thanks, Jamie. Really cutting commentary. But don't worry. We got Nancy Pelosi, who had a video of her own leak recently where she said, oh God, thank God somebody showed up on January 6th just like we wanted them to. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fight Trump. An 80-year-old big-titted fucking dementia case is just going to go in there and smack up a 6'4" fucking orange kaiju. Yeah, big talk here, but oh no, don't worry. Now Pelosi's taunting Trump. Okay, cool. Nancy, darling, this is something you're gonna have to just fucking live with at this point. Trump is never going to fuck you, okay? He is never, ever gonna take you seriously. He's just gonna look at you with disdain. Those are not looks of glowing affection, okay? We understand that your husband, okay? Normally the looks that he gives you are glossed over because he's about 6 rum and cokes deep, because that's the way that he needs to live his life and drive his vehicle. but Trump is never going to fuck you, okay? You're just going to have to live with that. But she's saying that Trump isn't man enough to testify before the January 6th panel after claims the ex-president will appear if it's a public hearing. Yeah, no, that's another thing too. So yeah, Trump's like, if it's going to be live, if it's going to be public, if people can come in and hear what I'm going to tell them, because I'm going to tell them the truth. They might not like it. They might try to shut me down, but I'm going to tell the truth. But yeah, here's Nancy Pelosi a day late and 3 drinks deep. Oh, Pelosi made an attempt to provoke Donald Trump, which again, it's like, just shut up. The last time you guys shared a room together, he was like, shut up, Nancy, Nancy, be quiet, Nancy, shut up. To appear before the January 6th panel by claiming that he's not man enough to comply with the subpoena for the testimony. Oh my God, you called me chicken. Oh my God. A report last week revealed that the source close to the former president says he wants to testify before the panel, but only if they will treat him like other witnesses and allow him a public and live televised hearing. Yeah, no, that's probably the way it should go down. That's the best opportunity. Hey, man, if this committee is supposedly engaging in good faith investigation, why should it be any different for Trump than it has been for literally everybody else who's come and testified? If it's all been live and in color, nobody's really been watching or paying attention. I can't even pull up an old live stream to just take a look at some of the fucking numbers that are on there, but you could imagine it's probably not too dissimilar to that of G4. Anyways, the House Speaker, however, has heard doubts that Trump will really appear. I haven't seen him in years. This is why I don't even know if he exists. Was he even president during that time? I don't think he's man enough to show up. Oh, wow. She said on MSNBC's The Sunday Show host, Jonathan Capehart, good morning, Sunday morning. I don't think he's man enough to show up. Good morning. I don't think that the liars will want him to show up because he has to testify under oath. Yeah, he'll just pull the fifth if he doesn't want to ask any questions or if he thinks he's getting blindsided. So, again, this would be an optics dunk if Trump shows up, okay? Because he is more charismatic than everybody else that's up there, okay? He gets to tell his side of the story in front of the cameras, in front of the world, and everybody's just got to sit there and just fucking listen to it. And if he has compelling stories and if he's got the fucking receipts, you guys are just going to look like schmucks even more so. Like somebody to come in and bust up your narrative, shit will be fucking hilarious and you'll look even more crooked, okay? Like if that face could look any more plastic, you'll see it cracked if Trump shows up on the 14th. And he decides to just start fucking going off and you guys are trying to shut him down. No, stop him from telling the truth. You're just going to look like assholes and everybody's going to be like, he was kind of on a roll there. Why'd you shut him down? Oh, you're starting to tell the truth? Oh. It would just be funny if he's up there on the 14th. I don't give a fuck what this old dusty bitch has to say for the rest of the stuff. She's ultimately going to end up retiring before the next election anyways. She's going to win this one, watch her party get fucking sank, and then just shuffle off into the darkness. Because the bitch is 80 fucking years old. Let's not forget this, okay? She's not going to be around for the 2024 election. I would just about guarantee it. I put it at like a 90% clip. Her... probably Biden, who we're going to be talking about soon-ish, because I want to do an update on his fucking deteriorating state. She's not that far behind, by the way, okay? But this is going to be the theoretical 1-2 punch, okay? Because you got the midterms about a week before this, and then you have this testimony that might be going down, might be televised, probably will, probably won't, okay? And all of that goodwill, okay? All of those legitimate victories that were won in 2020 for the Democrats are all going to be undone, and the only thing that's going to be left is the crying. Well, not so much for Nancy Pelosi, because her tear ducts are probably somewhere around her temple at this point, and it would be pretty catastrophic if she ever did shed a tear. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.